Barack Obama recently grabbed attention with his thought-provoking remarks about the Israel-Palestine conflict, surprising both supporters and critics alike. In a viral video, the former U.S. president openly shared views that challenge long-standing assumptions on both sides. His words strike at the core of this emotionally charged issue, offering a perspective that we rarely hear from global leaders. What did Obama say? That will make everyone shocked. Keep watching, and before we head on, please like and subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon to get new video updates. The Israel-Palestine conflict traces its origins back to the century when both Jewish and Arab communities aspired to establish a homeland in Palestine. Following World War II and the Holocaust, the State of Israel was established in 1948, leading to the displacement of Arabs. This gave rise to the Israeli War between 1948 and 1949. Over decades, tensions persisted between Israel and Arab states, Palestinians. In 1987, Hamas emerged as a militant political group dedicated to liberating Palestine and dismantling Israel. Hamas has carried out attacks such as suicide bombings and rocket strikes targeting civilians. In response, Israel has employed force, along with imposing restrictions on Gaza Strip while expanding settlements in West Bank. Many diplomatic efforts and proposals for a two-state solution have been unsuccessful in achieving a resolution until now. The main obstacles to peace include disputes over borders, security concerns, the rights of refugees to return to Israeli settlements, control of Jerusalem, and Hamas's refusal to acknowledge Israel. The ongoing cycle of violence and reprisals continues to cause loss of life and widespread suffering on both sides. On October 7th, hundreds of Hamas gunmen infiltrated Israel by breaching the Gaza border fence, attacking civilians and military targets. This represented the deadliest ever cross-border assault on Israel from Gaza. Tensions had been rising over issues like violence in the occupied West Bank. During the ensuing war, Israel aimed to destroy Hamas's governing and military capabilities in Gaza, as well as rescue hostages. Israel also stated it would assume long-term security control over Gaza. Thousands of Hamas fighters were reported killed, along with hundreds of Israeli soldiers. Under an Egypt-brokered temporary ceasefire, Hamas freed 105 hostages in exchange for 240 jailed Palestinians, but over 130 Israelis remained captive. Israel insists Hamas free all hostages before ending military operations. The fighting has displaced most of Gaza population, with severe shortages of water, food, and medicine due to infrastructure damage. Over 36,000 Gazans have been wounded. Israel restricted humanitarian access, arguing supplies could benefit Hamas militarily, though later allowed some aid in. Hamas is considered a terrorist group by Western powers in Israel. It has controlled Gaza since 2007, routinely clashing with Israel while rejecting its right to exist. Its leader, Yahya Sinwar, oversees both political and military wings. Resolving the Israel-Gaza conflict remains an immense challenge. Amidst this intense tension, Barack Obama gave a speech that left many speechless. Let's see. Looking through Palestinian eyes. Obama's most striking argument centered on seeing the conflict through a Palestinian child's eyes, considering their human aspirations for freedom and self-determination as equally valid, dramatically reframes the situation. As Obama inquires if an Israeli parent truly listened to the dreams of a Palestinian child, wouldn't they want that child to enjoy similar chances in life as their own? His point is, realizing both peoples possess the same innate worth, dehumanizing either side serves no one. Ending occupation and settlements. The former president also issued an unequivocal call for ending Israel's occupation of Palestinian territory, deeming its denial of rights both unjust and strategically unwise for Israel's future. He condemned settler violence and intimidation tacitly supported by the state, arguing such actions only breed resentment while forestalling reconciliation. Obama asserts that military administration of civilian areas inevitably leads to oppression and human suffering, questioning how Israel can sustain occupation while claiming democratic ideals. Legitimacy of both national aspirations. Crucially, Obama affirmed the equal legitimacy of both Israelis and Palestinians to national self-determination in their ancestral homelands. Just as Israelis take pride in their hard-won state after centuries of displacement, Palestinians also harbor a deep attachment to the land now controlled by Israel. Dismissing this universal longing for belonging threatens productive dialogue. With empathy and courage, recognizing the humanity in people unlike us opens new possibilities. The necessity of compromise. While strongly defending Palestinian rights, Obama also reaffirmed Israel's legitimacy and security concerns. Palestinian leadership must continue working to control extremism and violence. For their part, Israel cannot negate viable Palestinian statehood and expect lasting regional acceptance. Obama makes clear that painful compromise is indispensable even on explosive final status issues like refugees, borders, settlements, and Jerusalem. As complex as these challenges appear, the only alternative to negotiated coexistence based on mutual recognition is endless bloodshed. No one emerges victorious from that. The human stakes. Ultimately, behind stark political debates lies the future for millions of flesh and blood humans, children included. Obama asks how long they must suffer while their elders fail to muster the courage for peace. Especially after the Holocaust, Israelites know the agony of statelessness and oppression in exile. The human toll of this conflict strains conscience. Despite discouraging setbacks, the former president argues opportunity still exists to achieve the long elusive dream of two independent states, Palestine alongside Israel. Obama's candor stuns supporters. It's hard to overstate how astonishing Obama's frankness is for a high-level U.S. politician. Israelis and Palestinians alike reacted with a mix of elation and fury to his boundary-pushing empathy. Many Obama voters felt stunned hearing the painful realities he articulated. Accustomed to parroting Israel has a right to defend itself, they bristle at any scrutiny of Israeli actions or suggestion both sides bear responsibility. Obama clearly intends for his sympathetic listeners to reflect deeply on their assumptions. Social media erupted with heated arguments. Meanwhile, Israeli hardliners and right-wing media pounced to accuse Obama of betrayal, endangering Israeli citizens. The notion of even-handedness strikes them as outrageous moral equivalence when facing genocidal terrorists. Obama undoubtedly expected this backlash from zealots rejecting compromise. Palestinian advocates, however, praised Obama for daring to speak openly about occupational injustice after decades of U.S. leaders mouthing platitudes about peace while enabling Israeli domination. The demonization of Obama as anti-Israel or pro-Palestinian for thoughtful nuance itself demonstrates the zero-sum mentality he challenges. Imperfect messenger, compelling message. Some critics point out the hypocrisy of Obama preaching bold initiatives abroad that he avoided himself while in office. Facing re-election and other priorities, Obama frequently appeased pro-Israel forces and continued lavish U.S. military aid, enabling occupation. Yet the messenger's shortcomings don't invalidate the message's urgency or essential truth, and as president, domestic political constraints limited Obama's maneuver room on this explosive issue. As an elder statesman, his bravery speaking inconvenient facts merits admiration. The layered complexities Obama encapsulates show why resolution remains so elusive. Sustainable peace demands acknowledging the equal personhood of all involved, their suffering, dreams, and basic rights. Demonization will never persuade the other party to surrender its vital interests. Since the previous ceasefire expired, the Israel-Hamas war has continued to rage, becoming one of the deadliest conflicts for children in recent history. Over 15,000 Palestinians have been killed, including over 6,000 children, sparking accusations of war crimes against both sides. The humanitarian crisis in Gaza has reached catastrophic levels, with severe shortages of basic necessities, a collapsing health system, and the threat of disease and starvation. Though the UN has passed resolutions calling for an immediate ceasefire and humanitarian access, Israel has rejected the calls to halt its military campaign. Obama's candid commentary on the Israel-Palestine conflict was groundbreaking in its empathy and moral complexity. By championing compromise over demonization and recognizing the equal dignity of both peoples, Obama challenged long-held assumptions. Though imperfect as a messenger, his universal appeal for coexistence based on mutual understanding points the way forward. If former enemies like Israelis and Palestinians can forge peace through painful reconciliation, hope remains for other intractable conflicts. Obama's words remind us of humanity's common destiny. Either we learn to live together or risk perishing together. The choice rests with us. What is your opinion about Obama's take on the war? Write down in the comments and make sure to like and subscribe the video for more contents in the future.